else before we go to open meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, Paul?
We'd like to do a budget amendment for the accountant.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've got the contingency fund, which there's $4,000 in that for anything like this that could come up. So I'd like to transfer $1,700 out of the contingency and put it into the independent auditing and accounting.
By the way, that's what the Mike G estimated, or, at $1,000 or less per year. It came in under $1,700 for the 3 years.
$1,615.
And just over 1,600 then. And he also said that the reason it was considerably less was because the books were really easy to work with. Well maintained. He said Paul does an excellent job on the books. So
You won't be arrested this year.
No.
So that.
So we need a resolution.
Maybe the rest of us will. Yeah.
I want to get this right.
It's contingency, it's 1994 is the number. That's the account number.
Okay.
There were-
What other
there were
accounts?
To 1324,
Okay, and that's, what's the account?
and that's the independent auditing and accounting.
Okay.
So that's a new
New
line
account
on
we
the
made up.
budget
Okay.
now.
I was queried, just so you're aware, on 2 occasions about 2 articles that were in the Walton paper. One had to do with the audit of the village, one had to do with the audit of the town. So there was some confusion there. And just so everybody's aware of that, there were 2 contrasting articles, and there was a fairly different conclusion and discussion under each article, and I think that should be made clear. People said they didn't understand the fact that the village government and the town government were different. And no one's being critical of one or the other, but there was a significant article about both occurrences, both processes in the Walton paper. So I think people should be aware of that for the record. Okay, getting back to Paul.
Yes.
So I just need a resolution basically to make that amendment.
To make the new account.
Yes. And just
I make the
transfer.
motion.
Donna made the motion.
Second.
Dwight,
I agree.
Dave, whoever.
I'm sorry to
Any more
cut you
discussion?
off.
That's okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you, Paul. Now I haven't looked at the invoices. The Mangs check is in there too? Okay. Now on the electric, is that, I know what his estimate was and I don't know how it turned out, the cost. Did you stay at the 57?
The cost is $5,700 basically. He also put some ceiling fans in that had gone bad last winter. That he hadn't got to yet. We had to pay him.
It's like 5,900.
It's more like $6,000. We had to pay
It
him,
was just on.
and we're gonna get the rebate.
On top of that, so.
We'll get the rebate back directly.
Right, okay.
It was $65.54. That was for
For everything.
that was strictly for the LED stuff.
Oh,
And then we're supposed to be getting 757. It's estimated rebate
right.
of 757
Yep.
back.
yep,
And then the ceiling fan was completely separate. That was $383. So total bill was $6,900.
okay.
But the LED stuff was $6,500, and we will be
Okay,
getting
that's
rebates.
the invoice that we'll send to.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, good. Because Chad said, there's the rebates and stuff on top of that, so. Now, question, just for simplicity on our part, would it be a good idea to pay it in 2 checks? 1 check for the fans and 1 check for lighting? That way you're not, throwing some other stuff in there, Paul. I'm just asking.
It doesn't make it simpler for me.
No, not
My
now
system,
especially.
no, not now, not
Right.
ever.
Oh, okay.
Unless we
Okay.
did it for 2 different dates, I'd have to do 2 different
Okay.
checks to do.
Okay.
Because
No,
my
I just,
system automatically,
right.
if you have the same supplier.
right. It's 1 check.
Right.
Right, okay. Well, I just, it was just an afterthought, because I didn't realize it was all in one,
Right.
but whether it be, because they'll be able to tell what the invoices are for the lights and stuff, so that's
Yeah.
not, shouldn't be an issue.
They won't give us too much rebate, don't worry.
Oh, I'm sure. But I would think there should be more than $750, I would think, on the thing, but I don't know. Especially some of the letters I got, it was up to 70%.
It's all
by
on
the-
just,
That,
their big rebates are on if you do the retrofits.
it's all a scam. I
It's
don't
all
care.
lead in.
NYSEG has all our actual numbers. I'm gonna say it.
Right.
They know exactly how much electricity we use. Do they use that number when they estimate this? Absolutely not.
No, they don't.
They estimated that double the electricity we actually use that we're gonna save to make this look good. It makes green energy look great. It's wonderful, it's awesome. It's all a lie. And I said it.
I'm glad we're not involved in it more than we are.
Because they have every number, they could figure out exactly what it costs.
And you're right.
But they
that's-
refuse to do it because they don't wanna look bad.
Right.
Oh, that's just what my brother said.
It's a crock.
Tiger Electric, he said, yeah, they fatten these numbers, they're not, just to make it look better on paper. Which, it's gotta look good in the press, otherwise it doesn't sell.
Well, Tesla's in trouble.
And you don't get people on
City's
board.
in trouble at all, and they failing.
I mean, that's just a part of the game. But that's, if we can get the funding for it, so our lights are basically free, we'd be happy. And save money.
Which they needed to be done.
Yeah, it was time, there's no doubt.
Nothing free about free.
Well, yeah.
Don't worry, we're paying for it somehow.
Some
Oh, yeah, you are.
there's no doubt. But,
There's nothing free about free.
yep. Okay, is that all, Paul? What you got for your resolution and stuff?
Do you want more?
Everybody else? You need a copier, I understand that. Because the printer,
The
because,
scanner, right? Isn't that what it is?
Well, it's an all-
I have a question, just, I know I'm beating this maybe too
Yep.
much, but I don't think so. But just to continue the thought process on the phone system, Mark, we've talked about the fax. Are you comfortable with the scan fax system, or do you absolutely want a fax machine, a standalone fax machine?
I can scan.
You-
As long as I can scan it and get it out of here, then that's fine.
Okay.
So you can scan in here?
Well, you said you.
Yeah, I know I can scan.
That was a loaded question.
I have no problems at home
Sorry.
scanning all this stuff, but here, I can't get it scanned, then he tells me, oh yeah, I'm scanning off and all the time. I'm going,
well, I'm just, the planning board meeting,
$15, Dwight, or $10.
I know.
15 or 25.
I know.
they said it's a
Just as long
copy
as
machine,
no one likes
scanner,
surprises.
whatever you wanna call it, could be,
Like it better.
replaced. And I'm just asking that.
there's lots of times I have to sign stuff and then send it back, so I fax it. But as long as you can get the scanner to work, for me, I don't have a problem with it.
Why
That's
do you
how
got-
I do everything else, is I scan.
If you have any scan questions, ask Dawn, she's got a brand new scanner up there.
But no, we.
I've heard that,
I'm just
too.
being- I'm just being stupid.
I'll tell you what,
I
in
can
my
do
spare
that.
time.
No, but that was brought up at the planning board meeting, because they were making copies and having issues with, copy machine.
So the lid fly off?
Well, I'm not sure, they got the copy made, and I didn't think they were having an awful problem, but from the county said, maybe you ought to invest in a new printer, or copier. So, that's why I asked, and whether it's something that you could use an update, or what.
Oh, definitely. Listen,
You know.
when you got your last one, the Delaware business guy was here and he checked
Yeah.
he said, he checked the usage and I can't remember how many thousand it was. He's like, this one's on its last legs, and that was, what, 2
3
years
years.
ago, 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
So,
Well, would that be something that should be looked at? That was just brought up at the planning board.
yes,
They do
I've
use a
been
copy.
gonna get one, but I haven't really
Okay,
taken time to.
okay. Well, I think, should we give Paul the okay to look at
I
the
would
copy
say most
machine?
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, is it scanner, copier, are they
Yeah,
something you should
this
get?
one is a scanner
Oh,
copier.
it is, okay.
This one can fax too, but
Which I would stay
Which I
the
don't,
same. you
but-
know.
I mean, I'm
what I
just,
really want is one that actually will take a USB port, so I can scan to the chip, or, you know.
well, I guess
so
I would
Mine won't do
recommend
that.
taking, getting what you need to
Right.
work in the office.
I think that's pretty much
I'm
standard
not
now.
technically, I don't know if I've ever used a copy machine. so-
Yeah, I know, I use it.
Yeah, that's how he scans.
But, I mean, if we need it, it ought to be done. I think.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah,
would,
see,
Paul,
the
look
difference
into
between, he doesn't have a laser printer. I have to have a laser to do checks.
Okay,
That's,
well, I guess
so that's,
you know what you
Yeah, I know what
gotta
I
have, so I think if the board would be in favor of having it upgraded at this time, I think it'd be great. We
I
can
think
take
it-
some of the $2,500 that we got to use wherever we wanted to. If we,
Money we
if we
save on a phone system.
well, I also got money from that last FEMA thing for the administrative.
oh,
I think I got $600 or $800
Well,
that went
you know,
into the general
if you
ed
need,
for the administrative.
whatever, I would say get it upgraded so we don't have to,
Okay.
and, I guess the next question, Dawn, is can somebody come in and set yours up? Your
If they've got a
copier?
key to the office, that's fine, I don't care.
I mean, I don't know, I'm just asking,
I just don't have time.
you don't have time to do it, that's why I'm asking, I mean, you got a brand new copier, and there was some talk at the telephone meeting we had about usage.
I can help you set it up if you want. I can, as long as the computer's
Would,
not,
could you set it up with her when she's there, Dwight?
yeah,
Like
she
on a
lets me know when
Tuesday?
she's gonna be there.
9 to 11, right? Could he come in while you're there too, so nobody needs a key and you can,
Okay.
would that
Well, I
work?
won't be able to access, I would probably not be able to do much while,
Well, just watch, I mean, he can,
Well, no,
he
I
can
know.
set it up.
but I won't be able to do my,
Oh, your other work,
because it's all on the computer.
Oh,
Well, if you open it up, I can just set it, I can just get the thing going. It's up to you.
It doesn't matter to me. I put a new phone in today. Well, now I
Okay.
can push the 1 and 2.
okay. Who's number
Pretty
one?
nice. Just you two.
Okay.
We
Okay.
got $682 from the,
Oh.
from FEMA.
Well, it's,
Or
I
administrators.
would say, find, either use that or use, the money that we got, part of that grant from last year. We get what you need, and then we'll try to get the
Okay.
copier set up too, if Dwight would be.
Be happy to do it, like I say, as long, how old is the computer?
I don't know,
Takes 2 of us.
4 or 5 years? I would say
Well, I
probably
guess,
4 or 5.
if you're willing to look at it,
I'll look
Dwight,
at it, yeah, as long as it's
see if
not,
it's something.
something that they don't make anymore.
If not, we'll get them involved.
Yeah.
But we gotta get it set up. Okay. Is that, now we'll open the meeting up? We're ready?
Paul's all set on the copier. We don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're open now. Mike, you said you had something with the open meeting.
Yeah, several meetings ago, I think the last time I was here, you wanted to ask the audience, which is much smaller today than that, about the watershed property and farmers and hunting, and you were asked to take a position, and you wanted some input from the audience.
All right,
Remember that?
yep, that was a piece
So
of.
since then, I've heard some stuff about that,
Uh-huh.
and have you taken a position yet?
Well, the board did not.
All right, so my input as far as what I've heard
Yep.
and seen, is that you have these young farmers or some farmers that are farming, and I don't know if it's in this town or is it in Hamden or, you know, the watershed property.
Yep.
And they have a lot of issues with the hunters and stuff because they're running their cattle. And enough that it can help make that decision for them to fold up and go. And if we are to take a position, I think we should take a position that anything that would help the farmer to stay in business, you know,
Right.
tell them that, you know, if this guy's leasing and he's paying the insurance on the land, because they have to pay insurance
Right.
law, that, yeah, there should be no hunting,
Right.
and it should be closed because they're running their livestock
Right.
and stuff, and they're just a pain in the ass,
Well, I did,
you know, those,
I think Don wrote the letter for me, and I did sign my name and send it to the DEP about, you know, there was concern about joining landowners about the hunting aspect of it. And I said, as a town supervisor, I was concerned about it.
yeah,
You
and
know,
the other
that
thing,
brought to their attention.
I guess they were having problems with snowmobilers and all that too.
I'm sure there's
There's
issues.
few that ruin it for everybody.
Right, right. But if they open it to the hikers and everything else, which is what it's for, you know, it's, you know, the planning department, they said, you know, it was such a, that's one thing they finally got into it, you know, the city-owned land, at one point, you couldn't hunt on it, you couldn't,
Right.
you know, do anything on it. And they have opened it up for that, which, you know, a lot of people are appreciative of that, and some, as you said, there's some that aren't. They were happy having nobody on it.
I don't think the town should take a stance on it myself. I think you need to be very careful.
I just took it as,
Because I think
Myself,
it
not
could
the
be
board.
some landowners up there who, yeah, maybe they happen to be farmers, but maybe they like to hunt and they don't want anybody else hunting there.
Right.
I mean, I think there's
Well, I
plenty of
think the
people
thing
out
is-
there that restrict hunting. I don't think it's up to the town to restrict it. I
And I think
we live in a
if
free
we take
country.
a stand one way versus the other, one way or the other with the city, then the next time someone has an issue with their neighbor, well, you
Yeah.
did this for the city, how
That's
come you're
right.
not doing it for us? I think that's putting us in kind of a spot.
But, you know, you're talking about they opened it up like in Colchester and all those towns south of here. There's no farmers. There's no farmers left. I mean, why would you want to farm if you gotta constantly watch the boundaries that you either you lease or you own? If you got these idiots coming over and cutting your wire or doing whatever they do, you know, and harassing you. And you know, they are paying, you know, and the thing is that that land will all turn back to forest. There'll be no open land. The whole thing, the whole dynamics, I mean, I can remember at 8 and 10, 12 years coming up here in Colchester, down by the P-PAC, there was a lot of farmers. There's nothing there except trees and a bunch of rich homes for a bunch of rich people. That's all it is. And you know, if you want to preserve your farm life or the family farm, you know, you got to give them every break you can.
well, we have the right to farm in town Franklin and stuff, so I mean, there's,
Hunting's not driving farming out.
No.
Let's be reasonable.
Yeah.
no.
No, it's
I mean,
not
come on.
driving it out, it's all the little things. I mean, I go, they could do so many different, I had farmland in Jersey I sold, and the tax code thing is so much different, you know? I mean, everybody took advantage of it, it stayed open. If they didn't, that thing would have been paved over 20 years ago, the whole state.
Right.
You know, so how do you take a stop to it, how do you stop that, you know?
Well, if the
loss of
economics,
farm?
if the economics of dairy farming or farming in whole are different, the city would not be able to purchase as much land as what they've been able to. That's a huge part of it. You know, the lands became available, large lots of farmland, due to the fact of the economic struggle of agriculture in our region. And also, with that, making it, there's less that are willing to step into it. So someone that's retiring or getting out or have been forced out or driven out, their only option or their best option is selling it to the city. And with that open, so the economic struggle of agriculture in our region is what I believe created a lot of the opportunity for the city to own up as much as what they have.
Well, the city wanted to buy it. They didn't want to do the $9 billion filtration system.
Right.
It was economically smart for them to buy, and it is very good that they are.
Well,
So
it
that's the
has
way
its
that
pros
is.
and its cons. I think the cons are probably yet to come, but.
But the thing is that if you're gonna try to preserve some part of agriculture, not just breweries and wineries and hop fields and all this stuff they want to preserve through grants, which I think is ridiculous. We have to have a brewery at every intersection and a liquor thing, I think is crazy. Right? And yet, you just step on the farmer, the old time farmer or the dairyman or whatever. You just keep stepping all over them.
Well, it's
Let's not forget there's gas under all that, 99% of that city land, Delaware County, that they bought, there's also gas under it, and the city knows that. And they got unfunded mandates for the pensions down there.
I just think my biggest concern as a board member is if we take a stand either for or against the city. The next time you have another landowner that has an issue that's a private matter, the first thing you're gonna say is, well, you did this for or against the city, how come we as taxpayers are not doing likewise? And that's what my concern is as far as making a stance on that topic.
I don't think we can.
I would think as as me leasing land, depending on who I lease from, I try to be kind of cautious about what my contract is or what my agreement is with that person to try and protect my business as best I can. And I think that's and I understand what you're saying, Mike, I'm not disagreeing with that. But I think by the same token, expecting the town to step in and take care of that situation for you, I think we might be over-boundary ourselves a
Well,
little bit.
I think what's gonna happen, period, is you can suggest, because they're not even gonna listen to whatever you say anyway. They're gonna just go to their lawyers and decide to do what they want to do. But as far as you can suggest to them, this is what we would like to see because we are a farm community and we want to preserve every little farmer that we can or farm tradition in this town. This is where we would like to see. It doesn't really matter what we decide because they're going to do what they want anyway.
Yeah, I think that's already been proven in agriculture by just looking around throughout most of us state New York.
Now, the big thing in Jersey, and I don't know, is pot legal up here in New York?
No.
Oh, all right. Because in Jersey, I had to go to court one day, right? For traffic violations on my truck, And the judge is sitting there talking to these kids. It's illegal to smoke pot or have pot in your vehicle. And the kids all said no, they did not know. They were under the impression, and the judge said there, I understand your position because you're not from Jersey. They were like from Vermont, New Hampshire, or New York City.
Vermont just legalized it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and New York City, right? So, big thing in the paper down there is every town is automatically, and I know we don't have zoning here, but zoning out pot sales or the future, anything you can do with
We have
sales.
zoning framework.
Yeah.
We have zoning
Oh,
regs.
all right, so,
The village isn't,
yeah, I know
but
the
the
village.
town is.
Yeah, but they are putting it in, every town's putting it in that you cannot, like have a head shop, whatever they use. In the 1860s and 70s, they called it a head shop, pot sales, whatever, you
Right.
can't do it. So like if the town I'm from, Quick, you can't do it. You can't open up, I heard if you go to Seattle and they're all over the place. Because it's legalized, but they're stopping, because New Jersey's close to
Some of us were
legalized.
Washington, Colorado, Oregon,
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. Now, I mean,
And this applies to us how? Where are we going with this?
I'm just telling you what's going on down there, because once it starts, and they start talking about legalizing it,
Crop of the future.
it's what they're gonna do.
I thought it was hemp.
It is.
Same thing. Okay. Okay, anything else? Yes,
I've
Brian?
got a couple of things, question and comment. Question first. Any progress on the new town hall slash, you were talking at some point about maybe filling in the pond, past pond.
Well, that hasn't, I guess we gotta get a hold of Army Corps of Engineers, Mark.
I've talked to him.
And?
I can tell you what they said. Never happened.
Even a portion of it?
He said it will not happen.
Really?
Well, could
It's
we,
all about water management.
could we talk to them and give them some ideas what we have? I mean, who do we get, who do I call, or do, I mean, who,
You
I
should tell
mean,
them challenge accepted.
I can give you the number, Andy Dangler. I'll give it to you. I got it in there. You can
I mean,
call him.
I just would,
What he told me, and this is just how he said to me, he goes, I know you do a lot of paperwork. You have in the past. He says, I use your name all the time when I'm doing programs. So he says, I know you can do the paperwork. He says, so if you're gonna do a year's worth of paperwork to fill a pond in, and we're gonna go, no. That's how he said it to me.
Will we be open to shrinking the pond as opposed to actually filling it in?
It's all about water management, okay? Everybody's big on this now, is water management. So if you shrink the pond, you shrink the water
well, I think
management.
the county already did, because that pond's not near as full as it used to be with their new sluice system.
Right.
Right.
I'm just assuming things, I'm sorry. But I mean, I would love to, hey, all you can say is, no, there's no goddamn way, I'm fine. But I know he's
Okay,
talked to you,
I'll
Mike.
give you his number. You
I'd
can call him.
appreciate it, and I'll
He's probably
call it,
gonna
and all we can
tell you the
do
same
is
thing I just told him.
communication, and he probably will, and I have no doubt. But if we could fill in a third of the pond,
Yeah.
If you could make
Or
it
something.
smaller and it stays cleaner and it stays nicer,
well,
it's a
that's,
win.
I mean, that's, and maybe, you know, maybe their heels are dug in so far, you can't do anything about it, but just ideas, I'm sorry.
And where does the water come that fills the pond? Is it up from the bottom or are there pipes that come in?
You got 3 pipes that feed it off these back mountains here. That's where the water comes from.
And do they ever